You know what? You know what I was doing? Was about to get robbed. Yeah, but it's mostly my arcade stick. You know what? You know what I was doing earlier today before I started busting the stream? I was watching my old Underknife tier list, and I was like, damn, I'm like, my opinion on this should change so much. Good shit. The only thing I would put, like, if I had to change my tier list again, the only thing I would change is the placement. Or what would your new list look like? Yeah, I would move. I'll keep phone on the same. I don't give a fuck. I still think she weak. Game froze. Okay. I said what I say about. I'm trying to remember, and I just watched the video. I said phone on is extremely honest, which in my opinion she is. Like, if you really dissect phone on as a character, the only thing she can really do to open you up is assaults. Is literally assaults. Literally. That's the only way she can realistically open you up is assaults and strike those. Other than that, all her normals, even her overhead and shit is reactable. The bunny hop assault shit she has, if you play a character with a DP, if she does it once and then does it again, you can punish it. So to me, she's honest. She just has ridiculous long ass normals, but for the most part, she's straightforward. And how I would change Yuzu, or my opinion on Yuzu, I would focus a little more on her positives than try to kind of focus more on her negatives, because Yuzu is probably the greatest character when it comes to keeping the mid screen. One of the greatest. Fuck me. Damn, this arcade stick. And my tier list, I ranked her below phone on, but the way I was seeing it back then, I was like, you know what? She has to work a lot harder than the niggas up top, because she doesn't have reversal options and shit, or mix-ups to at least open up turtles. So that's why it's a lot harder. But having conversations with people in the community and y'all, apparently she doesn't need to play the great game. But I don't really see that as a benefit, because again, you want grid. Even though a character doesn't need to play around grid, you still want the grid. So I don't really take that as a valid benefit to a character. I'll go as far as to say that the person that don't really need grid in this game is Batista or Vorpal. Batista don't really need that shit. But then again, she excels so much at her game plan. It's like, it's weird. It's weird. Depth with characters a little bit more. Fragile Health has stubby normals from a tournament perspective. She almost has no presence, Linnae. Yeah, but there are players that got Linnae into top 8 multiple times. Linnae, in my opinion, and my honest opinion, and trust me, I could be wrong when I'm saying this, but how I see Linnae is that Linnae can really adapt to a lot of situations in this game, bro. Like, her kit is that versatile to where she can really have answers for almost every situation in the roster. Recently she doesn't appear. Yeah, but Monarch, I'll go as far as to say most of the characters in this game don't appear. Look at Chaos. Chaos don't appear in shit, and from what I've seen, and that nigga is a problem. Look at Carmine. Carmine don't really appear that much in tournaments, but he's a problem. Gordo, quote unquote, is a weak character, but the nigga plays top 8s. Who else? Who was in here? Execution wasn't in here. Or if Execution was in here, there was a Wallstein in top 8. Back in ST, Ikidu was low tier, but he was in tournaments, bro. Pesto Law bring Carmine present. Yeah, but that just you're how should I say? What am I trying to say? You're proving my point in the sense that even though these characters are not being shown, there's specific players that are bringing out the character says potential. You get what I mean? Yuzu, only Fang Regalia right now at the moment is bringing out her potential. Truck Demon is bringing out Yuzu potential, and the Japanese player, I think Kuri or somewhat, whatever the fuck his name is. I see Chaos player all over and none make it to top 8. Well, I gotta watch the tournament you're watching. And I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying that me personally, from what I've seen, me specifically from what I've seen, I don't see like Chaos players do it like that. But a lot of people like to say that he's still a problem. He's still a threat. There's a lot of people in Under Night that showcase literally one character, but forget the entire roster. That's why people get the misconception that, or had the misconception earlier that Yuzu was a great character, but in my opinion, she's not busting like that. Good shit. A ton situation where Julius Senior is weak, but he makes her look so OD. That's what I'm saying. Certain players can bring out the potential of these characters, and that's not the character. That's just the player being extremely good, right? But we're still on the topic of Linnae. Linnae is a really good character. She can adapt to almost a lot of situations in the game. I've seen look up a man called NYC Brandon. The man had reactions, and Linnae, with her rollout on her FF, benefited off a lot of situations. Oh, Fake Steve, thank you for the follow, my man. Good looking. Snap follow for Linnae is good. Thank you. Yeah, you see, like Linnae is not a bad character at all. She's really not. It's just that people don't utilize her as much. Or people don't see her as a threat because she's not shown as much. If that makes sense. What in the fuck? Oh God. But yeah. That's why this game is like. That's why this game is so interesting, because a lot of people have different opinion on how this game is, or who is a strong / weak character. Oh, he was able to flip out the corner? Yeah, I'm not saying by any means she's bad and Chaos is great, but don't get me wrong, he is amazing. No, Monarch, yo, bro, it's okay to have your own opinion on who you think is strong or weak. I can understand your perspective of why you feel that way with Linnae. I'm not saying you're wrong. Again, a lot of takes I say could be invalid. It's just that we don't see it enough to really make a valid, I guess, I don't even want to say discussion. A valid ranking of these characters. Because one day, Laundrekian might bust. Next day, Batista might bust. Next day, Seth might make it or win a tournament. Next day, Bakia might win a tournament. It's like these Under Night is so great when it comes to balancing that we can't give a true definitive ranking on these characters. Because at the end of the day, especially with the mechanics of this game, it's all about player skill. Yeah, I know, Nase was considered mid till not too long ago. Yeah, and Nanase, again, not to repeat myself, Nanase can do a lot of fucked up shit to you. Like, a lot of messed up shit to you. To the point where it's like, well, goddamn, can I even play the fucking game? Meaty setups, Oki setups, great fireball. I checked her frame data today. I don't know if this is true, but she's like plus what 8, 14 or some shit on her fireball. That's great. Off a regular air fireball. Going to 50-50, good neutral, good pressure, good normals. But again, people wouldn't consider her strong because she's not showing as much. Oh fuck, I thought I DP. Good shit. Fucking god. My arcade stick. I need to get a new arcade stick, bro. Or figure out what's wrong with this shit. Good pressure. But yeah, like Laundrecchia, the early stages of under Uniclear was that Laundrecchia was considered low tier. I said no, he's not low tier. Look what this nigga can do. And look how who's representing Laundrecchia right now? It's Fox, right? Look at what that nigga's doing with that character, bro. I think Big Black had to switch to that nigga or was considering switching to that man because of the shit he was doing. Earlier, and it's good to have a change of opinion. Don't get me wrong, but when people look at a character and don't dissect what the character can do in said situation and how much of what his toolkit can grant him, and you just say the character's whack because he said, she said, this nigga thought, he thought, this guy don't got good block strings, is ridiculous to me. I'd rather lab the character myself, go play the character myself and be like, okay, this character ain't it. And even then, at least I can be like, yo, I played this nigga enough to know why he's not it. Which is why I get my Yuzu opinion from. I played that character for years. Everything I'm saying could be wrong. It could be wrong. I'm not saying, well, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to niggas and say I'm perfect, listen to my opinion. But niggas need to understand that, especially when it comes to this game, you gotta dissect these characters and see if they're good for you or not. Linnae can adapt to situations. Laundrecchia can whiff punish a lot of things in the neutral. Seth is a whole mix-up monster, but he comes with problems. Low health. This nigga is very execution heavy. A lot of his matchups can seem annoying as fuck because of how big a lot of normals in this game is. It's ridiculous, bro. Lloyd is a special case because he wasn't out long enough for people to actually give a valid opinion. I disagree with that. How long? We've been playing this game for how long? For, what is it, about 3 years? Correct me if I'm wrong. This game came out 2020. 2020 or 2019. Laundrecchia was out 3, I think. Yeah, it's 3. Laundrecchia has been out for a while. And Laundrecchia didn't get the spotlight until 2022. Around that time, he got in the spotlight around 2022. So that's 2 years. And actually, let me not say that. In my POV, my perspective, he didn't get shown around 2022. And Foxo, the nigga that was considered a Batista god, one of the best players, he was like, fuck it, I'm a user. And look how well that nigga did with that character. And people were like, oh, Laundrecchia ain't good because he's so obvious offline. He's S tier when there's lag because you can't react and all this stupid shit. And you think, and you're like, bro, this nigga has Aurier's 5B. This nigga has multiple plus frame moves. This nigga has setups. This nigga has IW that covers the whole screen. So he throws a projectile, and you're like literally below 25 health. He has to 200 meters. Yo, I can just bust that out. Like Laundrecchia is so slept on. And it only took one nigga to be like, yo, I'ma lab him. I'ma actually go in the lab and study his shit and his frame data for niggas to change their mind. That's what I'm saying. A lot of shit is different when you read shit on paper and when you actually put it in play. It's different. I went on a whole rant. My fault, y'all. Not a rant, but you get what I mean. You look at Under Knife's. If you look at the YouTube videos for Under Knife and Birth, you rarely see people talking about these characters in depth unless it's in a docs. A lot of niggas don't even know that when Mika does charge 5C into whiff 2A, that's +7. A lot of niggas don't know that. You do Mika's 5 charge C 5, was it? Yeah, charge C into whiff 5A, that's +7 on block. A lot of niggas don't know that. A lot of niggas don't know that if you tech in this game, I'm in frame advantage. So if I was to tech Delta's grab, it's my turn. It's not your turn anymore. A lot of niggas don't know that. Like, you feel what I mean? Like, we don't understand a lot of what this game has to offer. We don't. Maybe the top level players do, which is why they're so up there. Like Trill is probably the only like chaos player I've seen consistently play that character. So if anyone was to tell me about chaos, I would take his word on it because he plays him through experience. I will go to him for matchups and shit. If I want to learn how to play Seth, I would hit up Blue, Azure Underknife real quick. Because I know for a fact he's been grinding this nigga since late. So you not gonna get information like that from any random nigga. If you want to learn Yuzu, I can teach you how to play Yuzu, or Frame Regality can teach you how to play Yuzu. Because niggas have the experience. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of shit that goes into this game that niggas don't chat about. And when niggas be like, yo, this nigga top tier. How? What? The game is 9% player interaction, so you can talk about who's strong and whatever, but yeah, I mean, you're right. It's more appropriate to play someone well suited to you more than top tier. Yeah, and you know what, Fake Steve, you are completely right. And ironic enough, I said that in my old tier list video. I said everyone is what's the word I'm looking for? Everyone can compete at the highest level. It just depends how you benefit off the character you pick. You feel what I'm saying? So when people are like, oh, or when Monarch was like, oh, Linnae is not really that good. No, she's good in certain aspects. It's just we haven't seen her full capability because there hasn't been a player that can showcase her skill set or showcase her true strength. Seth is a problem once you deal with a nigga that knows how to play him. Don't get it twisted. I completely once you deal with a player that know how to play Seth, he feels like bullshit. But that's what any character in this game. And again, that just shows you how well balanced this game is. Where you can play any character and dog with them niggas. Yeah, I completely agree. That's a big reason this game is so fun because of all the unique characters. Yeah, bro, and the fact that, bro, like, Under Night is one of the most liberated fighting games I ever played because you can chain into so much shit. Let's talk about the basic mechanics. What fighting game you know that can chain from C into A? I could do C and make it safe with A. Or B, C, A, C, B. I could do a bunch of cool shit, bro.